Hello to everybody, good night and Ramadan Kareem. Tonight is the follow-up for my Walk Talk Safety series concerning the RCA. In implementing the RCA, the root cause analysis in oil and gas operation and exploitation, we have three questions to answer. What happened, why this has happened, and what is the conclusion finally. So briefly, when we do this root cause analysis, we're gonna work as a team. So it's a multidisciplinary teamwork that may have operational aspect, exploitation aspect, safety aspect, and sometimes legal and workers aspect. The most important things that we have to do during this root cause analysis session is drawing down the timeline with all the seconds, and we have to plot down each sequence and each time and when this has happened. Secondly, we have the events tree. The events tree will go in parallel with this timeline. It means that each event it's plotted on the diagram, and from that we're going to have the third diagram, which is called the causal diagram or the causal mapping. In the causal mapping, every time we have a sequence, we're going to ask this question, why? And then if we find out the answer, we're going to ask secondly, why? Till we get to the final result. And the final result may be plotted on the causal diagram. But remember, we're going to have the causal diagram and we are going to have the contributing factors. As everybody knows that when we do the root cause analysis, we have what we call a latent. We're going to have the latent factors and we're going to have the direct factors. The direct factors, for example, is the worker forgot to put his PPE on his head. But the latent one, most of the time, it's concerned managerial aspects such as auditing, permit to work, inspection. And why we call it a latent? Because remember that we have never seen an accident with just one causal factor. It has been always the fact that we're going to have so many factors, and those factors are gathered all together, and we have one contributing factor which is called the trigger factor that's gonna trigger the accident. So briefly, and as I will summarize, we're going to have a sequence event diagram, we're going to have the timeline, we're going to have the causal mapping or the causal diagram, and finally we're going to gather down all the contributing factors, and we're going to gather down all the causal factors. And between all of those, we have latent factors and we have direct factors, or direct cause and latent cause. But generally, the most important is the latent one that are linked and concerned with the managerial aspect. Thank you so much.